Hey everybody, JC here. Happy Saturday morning. I'm in Huntington Beach, California, taking a nice little morning stroll along the beach. A little bit foggy this morning, as you can see, but that ought to burn off here in a few hours. But still just a wonderful environment here. I love Huntington Beach. It's one of my favorite places to go. I'll tell you, one of the things that I really love to do is, especially when I come out to Huntington Beach, is I love to observe people. You know, I've told folks, why do you watch the Animal Planet? Because the most fascinating animals on Earth are human beings, especially when they're in their natural habitat. And one of the groups of people I just love to sit back and observe, not bother them. Granted, I definitely am known to bother people sometimes, but the surfing community. I love to come out here and just kind of observe what they do, how they plan. Obviously, you can't tell everything just by observation, but you can tell a lot. And one of the things I notice about the surfing community, and especially the old timers, when they come down to the beach and they're perched up on the rocks about 150 yards from the beachhead, I've noticed that many of them will sit there and study the ocean, sometimes for over an hour before going in. And when I say study, I don't mean like there's a book laid out, they don't have an Apple Mac in their lap. I'm talking about just looking out at the expanse of the ocean, studying it intensely, taking their time before they plunge on in to the waters. So they don't just get out of their van, grab their board, straight into the water. They will actually sit on the rocks above the beachhead and study the waves, study the wind currents, study the rip tides, and I'm sure there's a dozen other things that I only have a rudimentary understanding of as a Marine, that they have an intimate understanding of as a daily surfer. It's really cool to observe them, watch them go through their process, a very deliberate process of waiting up to an hour, sometimes more, before going in, studying the waves, studying the rip tides, studying the currents, studying the wind patterns. And then there's another half of them that are just smoking a bong, but they're also waiting an hour to go in. And I could argue that the latter approach may be the better approach to preparing yourself to plunge head deep into the frigid Pacific Coast waters. And God knows what may be out there waiting for you, both natural and unnatural. I'm not gonna lie, I may put myself in the latter camp. And look at it this way, if you spend an hour with a bong before you go out there, you're not gonna give a shit what the riptides or the undercurrents or the wind patterns are doing. You're just gonna be along for the ride and you're gonna love it. Yeah, that's kind of an allegory for life, isn't it? Like, before you do something, especially something that is going to be significantly important to your life, and that could be surfing, that could be investing, that could be getting married, that could be any significant decision that you make, is study it. Study it objectively, not subjectively. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the surfers couldn't give a shit about what the subjective feelings are around the riptides or the wind patterns or the ocean currents or what may be or not be out there. No, they're dealing in objective math. Make no mistake about it, you can see it. You can see it in their eyes. They're doing pretty complex mathematical calculations in their head. And they're spending an hour doing it. And they're doing it without the help of a Mac or a computer or an iPhone. And they're dealing in pure 100% objectivity because their life depends on it. And yeah, it's kind of like a allegory on life. You know, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have subjective feelings and that we shouldn't honor those feelings. A lot of times, folks just live in that world of subjective feelings, and it doesn't allow them to live life. Maybe that's the lesson I'm looking for. Maybe that's why I like observing them so much. About strategic planning, about tuning out the noise and looking for the signal, because that's what they're doing when they're perched on that rock. They're looking for the signal. Maybe that's what we should all be doing. Or just go smoke a bong for an hour. I think either way, we'd probably all be a lot happier. All right, everybody. Hope y'all have a great Saturday and a great weekend. I am gonna get back to enjoying this beautiful beach right here called Huntington Beach, California. A little foggy, but you know what? Sometimes foggy and overcast is just the way I like it. You can walk a little further. You can get lost in your thoughts a little more. And maybe, just maybe, you can find a 73-year-old surfer with a bong who likes your hat. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.